Hi everyone, it's svgcoop.com with another training video for you today. And today we're going to be filling a shape with a pattern using Inkscape. So we're going to get started right away. We're going to File, Import, and you're going to import the shapes and the patterns from the sample file that I gave you. So the first thing, we're going to import this first pattern. I'm going to hit Open, hit OK, and it comes in rather large, so make sure you click on your lock up here. That will keep the ratio set for the image. I'm just going to shrink it down to fit on our canvas here. And then we're going to go to File, Import again. And there's a chevron pattern, so we're going to click on that and hit Open. And that one comes in small, so we're just going to make it a little bit bigger. Move that over to the canvas. And then finally, we're going to File, Import, and we're going to do the pumpkin outline. So hit Open. Okay. I'm going to zoom in so we can see better. So if you click the little Zoom to Fit page, you can see. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this pumpkin and we're going to trace it. So we're going to do Path, Trace Bitmap, and I'm going to change it to colors. And I want the colors to go down to a 2. And the scans to be down to a 2. And I'm going to click on my live preview and hit OK. Alright, so then we can close the Trace Bitmap window. And I'm going to move away my new pumpkin. Click on the original and delete that. And then what I want to do is Object, Ungroup, so that we have the pumpkin, and then we're going to also have the white background in here that I need to get rid of. And of course it's too hard to see. There it is. Delete that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to click on the chevron pattern and I'm going to go to Object, Pattern, Object to Pattern. Now when I click on the pumpkin with the black arrow, if I go to Object, Fill and Stroke, you'll see under the Fill tab, there's a little pattern button here, and if I click on that, it will automatically fill it with the last pattern that I added. And what I want to do now is I just want to go to the stroke paint, make it flat, and I'm going to change the stroke to about a 7, and I'm going to round the caps and round the corners. And so we have a nice pumpkin with a nice filled chevron. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to delete our chevron pattern now. Same thing with this other pattern. If we click on that, we do Object, Pattern, Objects to Pattern. Now when I click on the pumpkin, if I go back to the fill, I have it set at pattern, and of course it's still the chevron. So if you click this little down arrow, you will see there's 2 patterns here. The pattern 4314, that's actually the chevron, and the other pattern is the newest pattern. So it will fill all of that. The other options you have are, if you look down, there's stripes. There's just some that Inkscape gives you automatically. You have polka dots. So all kinds of things. But I'm going to go back to this pattern, and I'm going to click on the pattern that we brought in, and I'm just going to delete that. Now, if you try to save this as an SVG, it will not transfer over. So it will just show up as a filled black pumpkin. So what we need to do, I'm just going to make it a little bigger. We're going to save it or export it as a PNG. So we're going to go to File, Export PNG Image, and this image, this window opens up on the right-hand side, and it will ask you where you want to save your image. So I want to export as, and I'm going to go back to my folder, and I'm going to give it a name up here, and I'm going to call it Pumpkin Filled Pattern.png. Hit Save, and you'll see now all of that name will show up over here. And then down at the bottom, you can click on Export. Alright, so now I'm going to actually delete this pumpkin, And I'm going to do File, Import, and you'll see we have pumpkin filled pattern.png, and I'm going to hit Open. And we're going to treat it like any other bitmap image. So we're going to click on it, do Path, Trace Bitmap. I still only want the 2 colors, so I'm going to hit OK. Then I can close this, and I can move it away. And again, I'm going to delete the original. And you see we have this kind of gray background and then the black. So I'm going to do Object, Ungroup, and I'm going to move away the black pumpkin, delete the background. And now I can save it as an SVG. So if I do File, Save, I'm going to call this Pumpkin RM, and I'm going to go back to my fill here, hit Save. Now if I go to Cricut, or you open up, whatever cutter software that you use, I'm going to click New Project, Upload Image, Browse, and I'm going to go back to our folder. And I'm going to go to the Pumpkin RM. And you can see that the pumpkin is there, and it's great. So that's all it takes. You can fill it with any pattern that you can find. I do want to show you this though really quickly. I'm going to import the pumpkin again, and I just want to show you how you can add your own pattern. So I'm going to grab the pumpkin, import that, and again I have to trace it, so Path, Trace Bitmap, down to 2 colors, hit OK, that, and we're going to go to Object and Group, and I'm just going to move this away. We're going to delete the white and the original. Okay, so I just want to show you this really quickly. I can draw a shape. And let's say I want to turn it into, let's say, a star. I can now, that I created that, I can go to Object, Pattern, Object to Pattern, because it doesn't matter what you make. And now if I click on my pumpkin, I can fill it, and I can select the stars that we just made. So you can create any kind of shape you want to fill your objects. And I'll do another video doing a little bit more of that. And again, you can add the outline and make it so that your shape fills, fills your shape with any shape. And again, you can just do it with anything. So the flexibility is there. And like I said, we'll do another video on how to do that a little bit more detailed. But that's it. That's all it takes. So hope you enjoyed this video. We will be back with more.